that was definitely much needed. That was 100% must needed from the Phillies. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. It's been a very long day. For some reason, I am very tired for no reason. It's probably from my gym session earlier today, and everything just hit me at once while watching the Phillies game. But we power through everything to get your recap out for you guys tonight. So, what's going on, everybody? Phillies win by a score of 8-3 in the first game of this 3-game set over the Toronto Blue Jays. And offense goes off, especially in the top of the first inning. They score 6 runs off the backs of Trea Turner and Bryce Harper's back-to-back home runs, which was very nice to see Bryce Harper getting back into the lineup, which was very crucial for this lineup, apparently. First game back in the lineup, they score a bunch of runs. The offense struggles when Bryce is not in the lineup, which still doesn't make sense, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. You go on the road after a day off, after a very embarrassing series against the Milwaukee Brewers. You go on the road against Toronto, and you take care of business in the first game, and now you set yourself up for a series win tomorrow or on Thursday. So, hey, just good showing from the offense. Now, did they take the foot off the gas? 100%. 100%. Trea Turner had a fantastic day at the plate, 3 for 5 with 2 home runs. Still crazy that Trea Turner only has home runs on the road this year. He has not hit a home run at Citizens Bank Park once at all this season. That's just crazy. Nice seeing Bryce Harper get a home run in his first at bat back. And basically, just getting those hits with the runners in scoring position earlier on in the ball game. Alec Boehm had 4 hits in this game, so good for him in that situation. Christopher Sanchez, he was solid. It's still really the same issues with him. The command, he still managed to go 6 innings. Gives him a 6-run cushion. Christopher Sanchez should be able to handle that, and he did. He did overall. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run allowed. The walks are still an issue for Christopher Sanchez. That just really just describes how badly his command is all over the place. 4 strikeouts, 1 home run allowed, 96 pitches, and 55 strikes. The 55 strikes really shows how off his command was. And then you go to the bullpen. Ross gets a 1-2-3 inning. Lazar, he allowed a 2-run shot, so that's the Lazar experience. 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, 22 pitches, and then Carlos Hernandez cleaned up the business in the bottom of the 9th inning. But overall, it was a very, breezy game. The Blue Jays, they only had 5 hits. 3 of their runs came off of home runs. And, that's pretty much it. It worked out into a Phillies victory in today's ball game. Now, granted, I'm not going to go, woohoo, Phillies are back after this game, because I'm still very let down and still very frustrated from that series against the Milwaukee Brewers, because that was the most frustrating series I've ever seen in my life, with the way that you just completely got embarrassed by that team. But does say something that, get a day off, you go on the road. Sometimes it is important to get away from home, and maybe that is something to say here. You have Toronto in these next 2 games, then you got the Pittsburgh Pirates, so it should be much maligned to win some games here, win some series, to get the feelings back to being at least okay with this ball club. But overall, it was just a good game. Overall, it was just a good game. You go to the top of the first inning, that's basically where the game was decided. Bryson Stott with a 4-pitch walk to start the ball game off. Trea Turner with an opposite field shot, 2-run shot there, makes it 2-0 Phillies. Then Bryce Harper follows that up with a solo shot of his own. Alec Boehm with a single. Nick Castellanos gets hit by a pitch. Max Kepler, battling in his at-bat, down 0-2. Fouls a couple of pitches off, then gets an RBI single to make it 4-0. JT then singles to load the bases up. Marsh then strikes out looking, so it's kind of like, oh god, are they gonna leave a little meat on the bone in this inning? No, Bryson Stott gets an RBI single up the middle, scores 2 runs, adds a couple of more on the board. It's 6-0 Phillies after 1, and that's basically all that Christopher Sanchez needed in this game. Top second, the Phillies did add another run in this ball game. Bryce Harper gets on base, Alec Boehm singles, Nick Castellanos with just a routine fly ball. Bryce Harper tags up to go to third base, and then a little bit of stupidness by the Toronto Blue Jays. The throw goes completely past the third baseman as Bryce is tagging the third, and he manages to score on that ensuing throw. so it becomes 7-0 Phillies. Then basically it's quiet for the next few innings. Phillies bats really go quiet there. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Blue Jays get on the board by a Schneider solo shot. They do get a couple of base runners in this inning, but Sanchez manages to limit the damage. Top 6, Phillies don't do anything. Top 7, nothing really happens. Top 8, that's when Trea Turner hits his second solo shot of the game. Makes it 8-1. Lazar on the mound in the bottom of the 8th allows the 2-run shot there to make it 8-3, but that was basically your ball game right from there. And if we look at the lineup today, Bryson Stott, he goes 1 for 4, 2 RBI, 1 walk. Trea Turner, 3 for 5, 3 RBIs, and 2 home runs on the day. Bryce Harper, 1 for 3 with a solo shot. He also had 2 walks in this game. Kyle Schwarber, he goes 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Not the best performance there from Kyle, but at least everybody else had his back. Alec Boehm, he goes 4 for 5. I believe all 4 of those hits were singles. Nick Castellanos, 0 for 4 with a run scored. Max Kepler, 1 for 5 with an RBI. JT Realmuto, 1 for 3 with a walk. And Brandon Marsh, 0 for 4. Phillies, they go 3 for 8 in totality with runners in scoring position. So it was just a good game. That's basically, it's a game that you needed. It's a game that you needed to have. That's a game that you needed to have as fans. We just needed that overall in general, just to stop the bleeding, I guess you can say, and continue on in forth with the rest of this series. So it's a good one overall. So there was a little bit of an update for this series. So Zach Wheeler, he's still on the paternity leave. He does not know when his child is going to be born. So we don't know when the next time Zach Wheeler is actually going to pitch. So it's actually going to be Mick Abel tomorrow. Instead of being on Thursday, it'll be Mick Abel tomorrow, then Jesus Luzardo on a Thursday afternoon against Toronto. So there's going to be a bit of a question mark for Friday's game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So we don't know if Aaron Nola is going to come back. We don't know if Taijuan Walker is going to be forced into rotation again. So we're basically just going to have to wait and see. But it should be exciting for Mick Abel tomorrow, you know, chance to win the series, hopefully. So definitely will be some pressure. You're definitely facing a better quality team than the Pittsburgh Pirates, Toronto Blue Jays, that is. The Phillies will be going up against Jose Barrios. He is 2-2 with a 3.86 ERA. Coming off of a 6-inning no earned run performance against the Athletics. And then basically he's been, you know, consistently 6 innings for the past month. Basically, you know, it's really just, you know, his first start of the season, he allowed 6 earned runs. But basically since then, it's been like 2 earned runs, a couple of bad starts mixed in there. But basically it's like consistently 2 earned runs or 3 earned runs. So you could definitely score against a guy like a Jose Barrios. And then on Thursday, it's Jesus Luzardo going up against Chris Bassett. And Chris Bassett, he is 5-3 with a 3.80 ERA. He has been very bad in his past 2 starts against Athletics. 5 earned runs against Tampa Bay, 5 earned runs. So he's been giving up a lot of more runs lately. But overall, like I keep saying, this was a very important game for this team to have. They just needed it. They just needed it. Here's a stat from Corey Seidman as well. 60 games into the season, the Phillies have only had 2 losing streaks longer than 2 games. They responded to the other by winning 23 of 29. So we'll see if so what was that stretch? Was it the stretch where they got swept by the Mets and then they went on that really good stretch of winning? So maybe they do follow that up with winning again. We'll just have to wait and see. The quality of competition is definitely going to be a lot better than after that stretch was against the New York Mets, where you're playing Pittsburgh, where you're playing, you know, the Athletics, where you're playing Tampa Bay and mixing in there, where you're playing Colorado. So you're definitely going to be seeing a lot better of opponents. Like, just look at the stretch upcoming. So these last 2 games against Toronto, yeah, you do get Pittsburgh, so that's a team that you should be able to beat. Then you get the Chicago Cubs at home. You get the Toronto Blue Jays once again at home. Then you have a 4-game series in Miami, 3 games at home against the Mets, 3 games on the road in Houston, 3 games on the road in Atlanta, 3 games at home against San Diego, 3 games at home against Cincinnati. Then you go on the West Coast before the All-Star break with San Francisco and San Diego. So it's definitely a tougher quality of schedule with some very bad teams mixed in there. But most of these teams are above 500. Some of them aren't. Some of them are like borderline mediocre, like with the Braves and with the Reds. But some of the bad teams like the Pirates and the Miami Marlins, but still you're facing a lot of above 500 teams. The Cubs especially. Toronto is an above 500 team, but they're more mediocre than they are good. The Mets, obviously. The Astros. Padres are a good team. San Francisco's a good team. San Diego's a good team. So definitely quality of schedule. Definitely tougher. It's 100% tougher. But yeah, realistically, it was good to see Trea Turner have the day that he had offensively, especially after his huge boot in the field on Sunday, which I wouldn't want to say costed you the game, but it did really shift the momentum because. Granted, you could put a lot of blame on the offense for basically not scoring at all the rest of the game. Trea Turner's boot, which should have been an inning-ending double play, really cost you in that one. And it's nice to see him have that response in today's game, hitting 2 home runs, being a nice boost to the lineup. Kind of just wish he did a little bit more with Bryce out of the lineup. So, and granted, I'm more of a Trea Turner defender than not, but when one of your superstars goes down, your higher paid players do need to step up when one high paid player goes down. And Trea Turner, granted, he's a guy that's been getting on base more than not this season. He's been getting on base, trying to use his speed on the base paths, having other people drive him in. When Bryce goes down, you need Trea to do a little bit more. And granted, you don't want to put all the weight on Trea Turner's shoulders, just a little bit more. But this game was nice. This game was nice for Trea Turner, so hopefully he just continues to carry that momentum. Some defensive plays that were really good in this game. Alec Boehm saved a possible triple maybe from George Springer. It was in the early stages of the ball game, I believe. It was like a 2-out walk by Christopher Sanchez to Vlad Guerrero Jr., if I'm not mistaken, and then Springer roped one almost down the line if it wasn't for Boehm. That robbed him basically, and the throw just barely beat Springer at first base. Boehm had to dive, then he just chucked the throw over, and it bounced a couple of times before Bryce was able to scoop it at first base. But it was a good play by Boehm. It was a good play by Boehm. Nothing really egregious on the defensive side, besides for the Toronto Blue Jays when they had that throwing mistake, which allowed Bryce to score from second base. But overall, really not much else. Really not much else from this game. So you got the last 2 games in this series. Tomorrow, another 7 o'clock start, and then Thursday is going to be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So try to win the series tomorrow. It's a lot of pressure on Mick Abel in his second career start. But what are his numbers, or what have his numbers been since going back down to the minors? I wonder. I want to see that. It's definitely not going to show that on ESPN. So if I look at Mick Abel, what have his stats been since being sent back down? Can I look at his minor league stats? Minors, there we go. So, can I look at game logs from the minors? I cannot. Do I have to go to MILB.com or something like that? Or it's probably not going to show his MILB stats because he's on the Major League roster right now, is it? Can I just look at his game-by-game thing here? Here we go. Baseball Reference, it's minor league statistics. Can I look at that? Can I look at game by game? Can I look at game by game? My God. Here we go. Pitching game logs. Can I look at that, please? No, it's only going to show his goddamn major league record. Can I just get some, clearance here? I probably should be more prepared than that. But these things just don't want to help me. MILB. Let me look at his MILB stats. Thank you. There we go. So let me look at his game logs. So from basically being sent back down. Okay. So in the 2 starts that he was, since being sent back down against Pittsburgh, he made 2 starts. So he's had 2 starts since being sent back down. And where are the earned runs at? And the first start in AAA after being sent down, he allowed 1 earned run in 6 innings, 3 hits there. And then in the second start, he allowed no earned runs, but 4 hits in 4 2/3 innings, 3 walks. So I wonder why that start was a little bit short, but still, no earned runs. So overall, he's still been very good. He has still been very good. So let's see what he has in store for tomorrow. That'd be very nice. That would be very nice to see what he has in store. So we do have one voicemail here actually on the Anytime Hotline. I don't know why my voice was just playing back right there. Let me get this up for you guys. Really not many people in the chat here, so this will probably be a quicker stream more than not, which does not matter to me in the slightest. So let's go to Zach. Let's get this call going, and we'll wrap it up.
Yo, what's up, Amadeo? I'm back. It's been a while. I haven't called in for quite some time. But we got a Phillies victory tonight, breaking the 4-game losing streak. just as you started to get excited, they break off 4 losses in a row. But now you break that. Christopher Sanchez threw the ball, pretty well tonight. His command was off, but he got it done, did the job. Nice to see Bryce get back in the lineup with the home run. And Trea Turner, 2 home runs. That first inning was explosive. Really glad watching to see they had the bases loaded. Bryson Stott's able to get that 2 RBI single to really break it open early there. And it's always going to be an adventure with this bullpen at this point, with Jose Alvarado out benching. So, thankfully they got enough of a lead in this one to just be able to hand it off to whoever. Got it done. They gave up the 2 home runs for Lazar, but Romano's the real back-end bullpen guy at this point, which is a disaster. Because, watching this guy, he's so up and down. But it's the way it is. They got to add somebody in the bullpen, and we'll see, man. But still got a good record here, so got to keep it going, keep winning series. Just win tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. All right. Go Phils. Peace.
I think that's kind of the right attitude to have there. It's really like coming off of that, dreadful series with Milwaukee. It's nice to get a win like this where the offense does go off, but then also you see the issues with the bullpen, with Lazar giving up a 2-run shot. Just can't have clean innings. Joe Ross had a clean inning. Hernandez had a clean inning, but those guys are never going to have clean innings consistently. Definitely, yeah, obviously, need bullpen help. That is 100% granted, but like I said, for the offensive perspective, good for Turner to have this game. Bryce, nice seeing that, home run in his first at bat back. Bohm having the 4-hit night. So overall, it was a good game for the most part. But like I said, it's not a game where you get too high off of. So we're just going to have to see where it goes for these next 2 games. Most important part is, win the series. Win the series with tomorrow's game, and we'll see where it goes. So that'll do it for tonight, everybody. It's going to be more of a short stream than not. Not many people viewing here, which is very understandable. The Phillies are not the best ticket right now. But even though I say that, they have a good record. It's just the feelings are down from that Milwaukee series, which is rightfully so. But we'll be back tomorrow to discuss this team, what the result is going to be. So appreciate people for tuning in that, tune in live or tune in when the stream is over. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to drop a like and leave a comment. Don't forget to use the code TTPSPORTS at SEATGEEK, $20 off your first purchase, and also follow at TTPSports on TikTok and Instagram. So appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight whenever you do, and I'll see you next time.